Welcome to Friday Night Likes. My name is Chris Webb, and in this weekly show, I review toy photography around the web so you can learn about composition, technique, lighting, and improve your skills as a toy photographer. So, a lot of images this week. Let's get straight into it. First one here. Another beautiful Instagram name I'm going to struggle to pronounce. Diton Isyaf. Hope I've said that correctly. Great shot of two First Order stormtroopers here. Interesting he's tagged complementary colours because that's the first thing I thought when I saw it. It's got this beautiful green tone going on in the shadows, I guess, or the light coming from the left side. And then you've got the red of this laser beam, some of the sparks there, to a lesser extent in the oil can here. But this is complementary colours at work. So a great mesh of the red and the green working really, really well. They're very, very hard colours to get right. But yeah, he's coloured this really, really nicely. So I've talked about complementary colours in previous weeks. This is just another example where you can see how it works. Next one, Brian the Hick has got this shot of a Rancor, staying with the Star Wars theme. I think this was a Rancor that was sold around the time of the Force Unleashed game because it's got these markings. I remember it from the game. Wish I'd picked one up because it's pretty cool. The reason I like this shot is because he's done the right thing and got his camera as low as possible so he can shoot upwards and show off the size of this thing. So the trooper's a little big here, but you know, that's the trade-off you get when you get your camera up close and try and fill the frame with a big beast like this. It's challenging. It's one of the big challenges with toy photography of making things not look like small toys, and key way to do that is get your camera as low as it can go so you can shoot at eye level or upwards and show things off in the scale you would expect to find them at in real life. So there you go, Brian the Hick and his Rancor there. Next one by non_1072. A very simple shot of two Death Troopers. I see this kind of thing come up all the time in my feed, and most of the time I just swipe past it. Character shots of stormtroopers, you know, Black Series 6-inch figures from Star Wars just fill everyone's feed. People love taking shots of them. I'm pretty bored with them. But the thing I liked about this one is it totally nails the color tone from the film. So this really, really stood out that he captured exactly that dour tone that these troopers are seen in you know, the opening scenes of Rogue One. So simple shot, but yeah, a few things you can get from that. Next one, another Rogue One shot. Very Star Wars heavy this week, but hey, I just look at the thumbnails and whatever comes up that I think looks good is what I shortlist and then talk about. So nice shot from Glenn Mose here. Thing I liked about this is the lighting. So he's got this beautiful rim light just kissing the side of Chirrut here. If you look around the side of his face, it's just so carefully lit that he's just got a tiny little bit of rim lighting there. Just painting that light right around the edge. Very, very precise. Really, really nice. And that separates him from the background. Just pops him off. And then he's got another light coming over from the right, which is just softer and nicely illuminating the right side and then just leaving the front of his face in shadow. This is great lighting. Really, really beautiful. Beautiful, well done lighting. Same on Maze at the back. Less visible, I guess, because he's out of focus with the aperture Glenn shot at. This is a great one to look at in terms of lighting. If you want to do this kind of thing, this is a case of moving your lights around and taking pictures until you lock in on something like this where it looks right. It's totally trial and error to an extent, but taking your time, taking shots and developing the lighting up, and you get results like Glenn has. Next one, by Weak Self-Esteem. Finally, an Instagram handle I can pronounce without sounding like an idiot. This is a nice shot. I could talk about, this is nice. The color tones are beautiful. He's in the water. That looks good. Forget the size of the droplets and things. I'm not going to talk about this. There's just one beautiful aspect with the composition of this, which works really, really nicely. And it's this perfect right angle, this 90-degree angle that you get framed from the saber he's holding here. You can trace that all the way down to kind of the root of the water and then the branch up. And it just creates a nice 90-degree angle, which kind of frames him in the center. The other saber is doing the same thing. And if you follow it, it's going to hit that same point. So your eyes are picking up on this. If I hadn't told you about this, you probably would have looked at this and thought, wow, that's a nice photo. But once you know these tricks, you can put them to work in your photos and draw people in and get people more interested in your art. Next one, Hasdo Dolls. These names don't get any easier. But hey, look at this. This guy has got some great stuff on his profile. Go check him out. Indeed, go check everyone out. All these guys I'm showing this week have got great work. I really, really love the process of this show where I go and hunt for pictures. So far, I've been really, really pleasantly surprised each week at some of the new artists I've discovered, which you can see in the previous shows. The thing I like about his shots, and go and look at his other ones, he's got some really, really messed up shots with this kind of alien concept, the alien and the Phison doll here. It doesn't go too kind of weird, we're not talking anything torture porn, hentai, extreme kind of thing, but just this sinister kind of vibe of this alien that's being loved here by this doll. Very, very unsettling, but shot with such beautiful lighting. The kind of lighting you'd be putting just on the model there to make her look good. Yeah, really, really interesting. Go and check out his stuff. It's stuff like this that stands out from the crowd, the sort of sea of Stormtrooper shots I'm seeing week in, week out. Something different, really nice. Another one, HRJoe_photography, well known in toy photography circles for his work with 6-scale figures. He did all those great Avengers shots a while back. He's back with another shot, which I saw and didn't immediately see the joke and thought, okay, you've got Deadpool holding back Ant-Man, Black Widow's kind of reaching for a drink. And then it just took me a second to see this little object here. Hopefully you've seen Ant-Man. If you haven't, I'm guessing this is the disc that Ant-Man uses to throw at things to make them grow in size, as opposed to the red one, which is the one that makes them shrink. I'm assuming we've got the colours the right way around, and that's what he's going for. So now you know that, or you've seen that, you kind of get the joke. So clever, 3 elements here. You've got Deadpool up to mischief, you've got Ant-Man, you've got Black Widow. And there's a little story going on there. It's very, very clever, nicely thought out, nicely executed. Posing's all great on all 3. Taking a character like Ant-Man, which is just a guy in a mask, and actually managing to pose him in a way and put him in a story where you instantly know what he's thinking without even seeing his face is brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant work. Very, very clever. So yeah, another good one to think about when you think about how you tell stories with toys. A lot of these toys we buy, and especially the Hot Toys ones, as beautiful as Hot Toys products are, the faces are very, very monotone. And he's done this and carried this off with 2 faces you can't even see, and Scarlett's face, which is definitely very, very monotone. And he's made it work. So yeah, very, very good work. Okay, last one for this week by Capes and Rifles. This is a great example of how you can use light to help tell your story. And in this case, the way you light your characters can help indicate what's going on in a scene, the situation they're in. And specifically in the case of this shot of Alex Murphy from RoboCop, the key light on this character is from below. And the reason this is a good technique to use if you want to create drama and suspense in your shots is because it's unnatural. In nature, we're not used to seeing things lit from below. You know, the sun's in the sky. If you go in a building, you don't see light bulbs on the floor, they're on the ceiling. Light generally comes from above. So that's the way we're used to seeing the human face. So when you light things from beneath, you see this in horror films all the time, and anything where you want to create suspense and drama, this is a really good technique to use. Bear in mind, if you're doing it on female figures, collectibles, it's not going to make them look great. It isn't flattering. So it's not going to make female characters look great, but if it's a scary female character, it's going to work and it's going to make them look a little bit more terrifying. So this is a really, really nice shot, and it's not just the lighting that he's used as a key for his body and his face. You can see he's got lighting behind him, just sort of kissing the top of the helmet there. More a cooler blue color to that light. If you look at the reflections on the helmet, there's another light in front, which I suspect is also lighting up the side of that wall on the right. And there'll be another light lighting up the background as well. So there's a few lights in this shot to create this result, and it's very, very good. It's a really, really nicely well lit, careful setup, and he's got a great photo as a result. So a great one to finish this week off. I'll be back next week, same time, same place. Don't forget to follow all these artists using the links below in the description here on YouTube, and I'll see you next week. Head to toyshooter.com to join our newsletter and get my free guide to toy photography. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube using the link below. When you subscribe, look for this option to be notified whenever we upload new tutorials. Otherwise, videos will probably get lost in your feed here on YouTube. To see my work on Instagram, you can follow our account at instagram.com/WeShootToys, where you'll also find some exclusive behind-the-scenes videos. You can also get regular news and updates from our Facebook page at facebook.com/toyshooter. As with YouTube, you can get notified whenever I upload news or photos by clicking on that like button arrow, then selecting all notifications. You can always change this later if I'm posting more cool stuff than you can handle. Here are all those links again. See you next time.